just gonna sell. Yeah. And talk about medium. We're doing what I'll consider a predominantly hip hop based show. Of course, we talk about Sia Kolisi now. Talk about things that affect blacks and so forth, culture, black culture, and all of that. And I've been thinking throughout the week. I watched a POPcast. I think I asked you to watch it. I watched the POPcast. POPcast is the biggest, I'll say, in terms of the podcast, hip hop podcast based.
Okay.
Hip hop based podcast in SA. I can talk about the Sobering podcast, but they fucking shit, bro. Like they're useless, right? So let me talk about the podcast. And you look at Uguti hip hop about 5 years ago was the main music genre in SA, right? That's when the guys Abo Questa, Abo KO were riding. Yes. They were the pop stars of that. Recently, Amapiano have taken over, right? And yes, we can talk about Uti Piano is more about party music and so forth, but I think there's space to talk about the media that supports the different genres, right? And that's where the POPcast comes in. This POPcast, if you don't know, is actually hosted by Scoop Makatini, well-known guy, understand, OG, some may say, right? And Charlemagne the God Light, some may say, right? And then you've got Miss Cosmo, all right? She's on 5FM, yes. And there used to be Vici. Vici is actually taking leave for the past month or so. There used to be Speedster. All right? Speedster has got a show on Metro. He's also a DJ, a well-known DJ.
He's on TV as well.
Yeah, he's on TV as well. He's on Live Amp.
Yeah.
All right? And then the whole product, POPcast, is actually owned by DJ Dimples. Right? DJ Dimples is a well-known industry DJ and all that. OG. Now, I've got a problem. Uguti, I think they are part of the reason hip-hop is where
Tony,
it is.
Big Tony, don't sugarcoat it. They're trash.
Before the content, I'm not even going to the content as yet. I'm just talking about where you've got industry players doing commentary on the industry they're in. Right?
Without being confidently saying, I'm on top of the industry, hence I can tell you this.
Exactly.
No.
Jay-Z saying, I'm giving you $1 million game
No.
for that.
Listen to this, Sian. You can't comment on your peers who you're friends with, honestly. You can't give... Let me finish this.
Paint the picture for me.
Yeah. So, Miss Cosmo. Miss Cosmo is a DJ.
Yes.
Miss Cosmo is not an artist.
100%.
Miss Cosmo, when Miss Cosmo wants to bring out a song, he needs to get a beat maker, he needs to get producers,
A vocalist.
he needs to get rappers.
The entire set.
Now, imagine this, Miss Cosmo talks shit about a rapper that she wants in her next project.
Oh, Miss Cosmo, no. Maybe she can speak shit about somebody who's about to come and co-host that show because she's a DJ.
But that's why I'm coming with this. Uguti. It's conflict of interest. You can't. Miss Cosmo wants to be booked in some of these shows that these artists do. Miss Cosmo wants to be one of the people that hear the album before the album drops.
Yes.
Miss Cosmo wants to have songs that she can play on 5FM before the public knows about those songs.
Also in our country right now, you are booked as an artist as part of a group of 27 artists.
Yes.
So if all of them are saying she talks shit about all of us.
Exactly, that's where I'm coming from. So you've got a media personality, right, who is doing commentary on the very thing that feeds her.
But because she wants to compete in the very thing that she comments on. Because you're saying she wants to be a hip-hop artist, inverted commas, but then she's trashing people who would elevate her status.
That's what I'm saying.
She's not even trashing.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll say this when I say, Can Miss Cosmo talk shit about DJ Dimple's latest album? DJ Dimples owns the platform they're on.
Oh, okay.
DJ Dimples is their employer.
Is it not like Fox Business News? Which even though they're owned by Fox, they would criticize.
You understand?
Fox.
So what I'm talking about conflicts of interest, where you want to be the player and you want to dupe the audience to say, I'm giving you fair commentary and honest commentary.
So what
It
big,
cannot be.
what Big Tony is saying is
Because I'm a player.
she
in
can't
this
say anything negative about Kudu. Kudu is DJ Dimple's last album.
Okay.
She can't say anything negative
Even if
about
she had
Kudu.
genuine
Even if she
How
had,
can she? Because next month she wants DJ Dimples to sign her up so that she can perform on DJ Dimples' stage.
You can't shit where you eat, type shit.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Now, that's the first thing I've got a problem with. All right? Okay. Let's go to the content. All right. The content, you are interviewing, you see now we've got the conflicts of interest, right? On the commentary side.
A very clear one, yeah.
A very clear one. But now it comes into the interviewing style as well. You're not going to ask your guests hard questions and uncomfortable questions because you need him to rap on your next single.
Almost like it becomes a promo for the guest, quite honestly.
Exactly.
On the basis of barter system.
I watched the last episode. They had Unada Nakai, right? Nada Nakai, I like some of her stuff that she does. But yeah, she got a big booty.
hey, she's
very
the last time I saw her, she did the busted challenge.
Yeah.
She is visually great.
Yeah. So I say this when I corpse. Uguti, it does not make sense for me to ask you a difficult question, you my friend, in front of the whole world, and ask you things that you might be uncomfortable with. And tomorrow I might need you as my friend to be on the track with me.
Okay.
Do you get my point? So even that, I watched that interview, I even commented on them. I said, there's nothing new that I've learned about this woman. I've watched this thing, it's an hour long. There's not one piece of information that is new that I got from this interview.
Oh, but you saw that put it live, though.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it this way. I think what Big Tony is saying is that you got Scoop, right? Scoop is on radio.
Respectable fella.
Look, I love Scoop. He's an OG.
Surprise, yeah.
Scoop introduced me to a lot of stuff. New fashion, new music, right? He runs a hip-hop show every Sunday, right? He needs
rodeo.
the rodeo.
Yeah.
He needs, actually with Pretty Ugly's wife,
Okay.
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
He needs interviews, right? Hip-hop niggas to come and do interviews on his show. He can't say shit about those niggas because he needs interviews.
Yes.
Almost like Joe Biden, Urodi, no Mark, Bashate with a celebrity, our thing guy. He can't talk shit.
You can't say shit.
This is
But
big
you see,
news for them to come here.
I'm glad that you brought up that Joe Biden story. I don't know where you finished.
No, let me say,
Okay.
you got Miss Cosmo, same story. She also runs a hip hop show.
Okay.
She's competing with Scoop
Yeah.
as the two biggest hip hop shows in South Africa,
Okay.
right? On Sunday, you got VG. VG's A&R for Universal. He needs to bring in more artists. Universal needs to sell. He needs to sell those units, right? He can't say shit about these niggas because he needs to sign them to Universal.
So it's multi-tier, intertwined commercial
Exactly.
relationships.
Exactly.
So, how do I get genuine content from niggas who need to suck up to these niggas?
Maybe you put that at the back of the priorities in the sense of, let me rather give my friend an opportunity. That's all we need, exposure, right?
Yeah.
You will do what you need to do because you are talented. But rather than me saying, my friend, listen, I know I'm about to shaft you out of a 400,000 rand deal because of a talented guy from the Royal Eras KZN.
Yeah.
You take it.
Yeah.
Probably
Hey,
because
bruh,
you are socially media trained and you media trained, you're gonna make people believe in the nonsense.
I want to say this when I say I want to say this. Uguti, Mina, I'm talking mostly, and my beef with this mess of a story, right, is the industry is suffering because of this chomi fucking relationship.
yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. We don't have honest commentary on music, the culture, black culture, and so forth. And by that, I think before we started shooting, I used the example of English Premier League and how the big role that the media plays. Understand? Where the media is giving you the behind the scenes. It doesn't matter if Sir Alex was pissed off with the one story. It doesn't matter if this guy was pissed off. They are beholden to the audience.
Even if you were
Not
to meet
to-
me in a restaurant and you took this up with me, I would tell you exactly the same thing.
Yes. They are beholden to the audience and they're not to the content providers or the creators.
That truth.
It's the truth. Understand? And that's the sad thing, that the state of affairs that we have here, right? And why I'm raising this, I spoke to you. I was like, on a weekly basis, we're gonna have to have a media watch feature.
Yes.
Right? We have to have a media watch feature where we actually look at what these fuckers are doing. Understand? It's important, and it's so funny, Wuti, in the whole world, in America, even in the UK, hip hop is the biggest genre. It's actually even with the K-pop, it's coming up there in the China and all of this
Asia,
stuff. Understand? Hip hop is the voice of the youth. Hip hop is it's about poetry. It's about what's happening around us, what's affecting black lives in most cases.
And it's not just the music, it's the culture, it's the entire culture.
Yes.
It's informing sneakers, it's informing,
Exactly. So we can't have a Trojan horse type of idea where these guys, when they do commentary, they seem to be like us, consumers. But they've got all these
innuendos, as
yes, you understand? Testicles into the into the industry, right? You brought up Joe Biden earlier on. What made Joe Biden so prevalent and so important to the hip hop that side?
He has no alliance to anyone.
He resigned from rapping. He resigned from rapping. So he doesn't need no producer, no record label,
no distribution.
He doesn't need no shit. He can honestly give his input.
But also now, you know what, I doubt his input on the basis of he is a hip hop artist, quite honestly, even though he's retired. But, you know, you never said he was whack.
But what I'm saying is his bread is not coming from sales. His bread is not coming from records that he needs to do.
No, but that's why I'm saying
Understand?
Now you're looking at this from, why should I trust this guy's view? Let's say you're a viewer.
Yes.
It's because this is him. He is a hip hop artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I was saying is that we're gonna introduce a feature which is gonna be I don't know, I think Media Watch or Industry Watch or Watch the Industry.
Yeah.
One of those two. And we're gonna go deep in terms of especially what they put out, the episodes they put out. We're gonna watch them. We're gonna critique them. They're the gatekeepers, so we're allowed. We're the fans. We're allowed to critique the shit that they put out. You understand? So I counted the podcast, right? I counted the sobering podcast, dude. The sobering podcast. It's so funny. They say it's a sobering podcast, but it actually puts you to sleep. Those guys are so whack.
Okay.
Unota, Big Mouth Nota. We're not gonna go into this one. I'm just saying. Nota came there. See, and there's no way, Cobbs. There's no way, Uguti, you can interview someone and they actually take over the platform. Understand? Not only they taking it like strong arming you out of taking over the platform.
Naturally.
It's because you don't have the information. You don't have the information to put what he's saying to you to the test and question and probe. You understand?
Almost like it's called sobering, because if you were drinking, you so bored, stop drinking and you sober now.
Dude, and this guy's, Marv was telling me, these guys are some prominent niggas in the industry. Understand?
Locally.
They're prominent. You understand? But when they interview, especially with the Nota situation, for the first 10 minutes, you know, it was like Nota was briefing them. As Nota is doing a
pre-recording brief.
No. It's like it's a professor talking to the students.
Okay.
They were like starstruck. They don't know what the fuck to say to this guy, right? He's talking above them. He's talking about black history. He's talking about... Now, I'm talking about just the knowledge base is not good. Okay, fine. We're not all going to know everything all at once. But if I bring you, we need to discuss what we're going to discuss. I need to know what I want to. It's my platform. I want to discuss with you. You can't overwhelm me and talk about your shit and do a PR for you.
No, but that happens on unemali, but on IPG. Because I need to turn daily podcasting, so you have money to buy the equipment, but without any kind of planning or research, you call people who are stronger personalities than you.
Yes.
And you start discussions that you know 10% about, and these guys turn out to be 100% knowledgeable. So
I even made a comment.
It's over.
No, I even made a comment. When these guys, they talk amongst themselves, right? They get, let's say 1,500 fucking views, bro, in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But if they bring in Unota, the last episode of Unota was like at 19,000. So they know when we bring in this guy, we're going to get the views.
Okay.
But now the thing is, are you doing good for your audience? If you're not prepared.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared. If you're not well read. And if you don't direct the conversation to why you brought this guy in here. Because it was like Unota was there to do his shit. They were there just to chime in and like, oh, really? I didn't know. Really?
Almost like some ANC parliamentary shit.
Exactly.
Once the man says, listen, screw education, screw hungry kids. Even if it makes sense to you, like, fuck hungry kids.